Alrighty, guys, welcome to the weekly recap for the week of the 25th of May. My name is Apple Crider, and we've got a pretty cool agenda today. I'll just run through it pretty quick. First, we're going to give you guys just another recap of the podcast, Young Smart Money. I know I sound like a broken record, but we just launched it last week, or actually this week, this Tuesday. So it's been pretty top of mind. Then we're going to talk about what I learned from talking with my grandma's financial planner, which was quite an experience. The other YouTube channel that I run is getting some more action this week. It got some more action this week. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about I'm a marketing director for a student group. I just started with that, so I'll cover on that a little bit. Starting to do some vlogging, so I'll cover on that. And then a couple articles that I saw that I think are really relevant, really timely right now. One on the state of financial education and investing education that is taking place in schools right now. And the other is on the delinquency rate with store-branded credit cards. So we'll be hitting on both of those. We've got a pretty packed agenda, so I think we might as well get into it. If you're in the stream, be sure to let me know. Let me know you're here so I can shout you out. Always love to do that. But yeah, without further ado, let's hop into the stuff. All right, so the podcast. It's called Young Smart Money. It is going to be interviews and just deep dives into financial topics that I think are pretty relevant for college students in particular. So the first 3 episodes are up. The first one's just sort of an introduction to the podcast, to me, all that good stuff. The second one is a full credit score crash course. And the third one is about starting a personal brand in college and how you can actually start a business in college. So I think that one's really, really powerful as far as they go. I like the third one the best so far, probably. But the second one also really good. It covers everything you need to know about credit scores, how to build them, why they're important, what they're used for, and it just provides a ton of value. So definitely check those out and leave me a review in iTunes if you would. It really does help out new podcasts. So trying to gain some traction there. Reviews really help. So this week I filmed the first 2 interviews that I'm going to include in the podcast. So those will be coming soon. So stay tuned for those. But yeah, I think they went really well. I've never really done interviews before, so it was definitely a new experience for me. Oh, Red Sox King says hi. Hello, Red Sox King. Nice to see you in the stream. Thanks for stopping by. Really do appreciate that. But yeah, so the first interview was with a friend of mine, just sort of about the state of financial education for young people and where we really see that going in the future. Second one was more about the concept of need. So it's kind of interesting. You wouldn't really expect me to do something on the concept of need, especially if the title is Young Smart Money, but I think it's really relevant, and I think people have ideas of what they need in their lives, and these don't always align with reality. So I think it was really interesting talk. I definitely learned a lot. I hadn't really thought of the concept of need really since like 3rd grade when we established the difference between a need and a want. So it was a really cool interview. I'm really excited to share that for you guys. I think there'll be a ton of value there. So that's the podcast. That's where Young Smart Money's at. There'll be new episodes every Tuesday, so stay tuned for those on iTunes, Google Play Music, Stitcher, all those good podcast places. Next thing we're going to cover on is a conversation that I had with my grandma's financial planner. So every year, my grandma goes in and has this conversation with her financial planner through Wealth Enhancement Group. And this year, I decided to tag along because I'm into personal finance, and I was like, I wonder where she's invested in. Wonder what I could learn from this. And I learned a lot. I got a lot of future video topics in the works from this. Maybe some about how my investments differ from hers, or the fees that she's paying to her financial planner, or all this good stuff. If you guys have anything you want to see from that specifically, definitely let me know. But I got a ton of ideas rolling from that. And I was really interested to see how they had her invested and just how a financial planning company really makes their money, how the fees look. Stuff like that. It was really enlightening, and I'm considering. I think by the end of my college career, I will sit for the CFP exam, which is a Certified Financial Planner, which would allow me to do essentially what this guy that I was talking to does for my grandma. So I think that'd be a pretty interesting position, and I was glad to learn a lot more from that. I might be interviewing somebody from their company actually for the podcast, so definitely stay tuned for that as well. I think that would be really beneficial to have somebody who's actually working in the industry talk in the podcast, just so that you guys could learn more about the actual professional side of things rather than just like a young person's opinion, but get somebody who's actually like doing the work and working there. So that's something that I think will be pretty cool, and that's in the works. Next thing we're gonna hit on is my other channel, which is APL Technology. So with that channel, I was really just planning on putting anything that wouldn't really fit with the theme of financial literacy and stuff like that. So first thing I posted was like a review on a pair of headphones that I have that are really cheap, and I thought they'd be a really good option for a lot of college students. Second video I posted this week, I posted 2 videos this week. One of them was on how to build custom links. So basically how to make links, for example, the links that I have. So I have a link that takes you to my Amazon affiliate site, and the link is just applecrider.com/Amazon. So how to make links like those where you can sort of personalize what they look like instead of just having a big, long, like confusing link with all these letters and numbers and stuff. If you want to have a concise link that has your branding in it and just has exactly what you want to have in it, that is what I did in the first video. Second video, Red Sox King asked, what is your major, if you don't mind me asking? My major is personal finance. Believe it or not, I got a personal finance YouTube channel, and I'm majoring in personal finance. So I'd say that's pretty fitting. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm only a freshman over at Madison, so still early in the game, but you know, I'm really enjoying it so far. But yeah, personal finance, that's what I am majoring in. Second video I just released today, and it's on how I edit my YouTube videos. So obviously this is live, so I'm not editing this, but all my other YouTube videos that are not live, I edit them, and I have this free editing software that I really like. I can't express how much I like it enough because it's free, and it really gets the job done. I'm able to do everything I want when I'm editing my videos, and it's not too painful of a process. So I talked about that a little bit as well. So if you're interested in how to edit YouTube videos for free, I would definitely recommend checking that out. And again, both of those are going to be over at APL Technology, and a link for that is actually in the description, or you can just look at the related channels to mine on my channel. That's great. Use this on interviews if it can help. Oh, then I'm a personal finance major, you mean? Yeah, I think people will be a lot more interested to talk with me if they realize that that's actually what I'm studying. And when you are a student, you really do have this advantage of being able to say that you're a student and sort of get to talk to people who, like, if you're just like a bum that just got out of college and aren't doing anything, they're like, why would I talk to you? But if you say you're a student, you sort of have this leg up, and people are more interested to talk with you, and they're more, I don't know, they're just more willing to share their opinions with you. I feel like when you are a student and when you do have that sort of, that excuse to interview people or talk to people, they're just more willing to talk with you if you are a student. So I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, so that's basically what's going on over at APL Tech. I wasn't really doing anything with that for a while, but now I think I'll post there pretty irregularly. Just anytime I have something to say that doesn't really fit with the personal finance or financial literacy side of things, I think over there will be a good avenue for that. Now, I just took on a position as marketing director for this co-working space at UW-Madison, which is where I go to school. And it's called MadVentures Co-Working, so if you look it up on social media, give us a follow. I manage all of those pages, so I'd really appreciate the support. They've been pretty underutilized in the last year, so I'm looking to get those off the ground pretty quickly come fall semester, maybe do a little bit with them over the summer as well. But yeah, so I'll be managing all of our social media platforms from Twitter to Facebook to Instagram, maybe some YouTube. I'm not really sure yet. We'll have to see where that goes. But just to show people what's up with the space. It's a really cool space, actually. I really do like co-working and just co-working spaces in general. I think they're a really cool place to meet people, to get work done. And I've been spending a ton of my time at co-working spaces throughout the first year of school. So I'm really excited to be involved with one. And I think it's going to be a really cool experience to be the marketing director of MadVentures Co-Working. Next thing, I did a vlog yesterday. So my first ever vlog, I did that on my Instagram. So if you check over at Apple Crider Official on Instagram, you will see that vlog that I did. It was a minute long, had some music over it. I don't know, it's my first take on a vlog, so we'll see how it goes, if I want to stick with that or not. I don't know if I'll be integrating that within YouTube. I might just keep YouTube to the financial side of things. But if you guys do want like behind the scenes type videos, I could maybe include some of that here as well. You guys definitely just let me know if that's something you'd be interested in at all. If not, I totally understand. But yeah, so the vlogging was just sort of like a behind the scenes of what goes into filming videos, where I film my videos, editing stuff, all that good stuff. So that's where the vlog came in. Additionally, I have business cards that just came a couple days ago, so I'm really excited to have these. They look pretty cool. Here's the front, here's the back. So I don't know, I'm pretty excited to have these. I've given out a bunch already, but they were really cheap. Got them off of Vistaprint for like, I think they're like 3 cents a piece maybe. So not too bad at all, but I got a bunch. So we'll start distributing those as we go. I was just excited about that. So now the 2 news stories that I wanted to cover today. The first one was on planadvisor.com, and the title is Fed Report Suggests More Investing and Financial Education Needed. So I thought this was a really engaging title. It was published on the 22nd, so 3 days ago. And it says 3/5 of non-retirees, so 60% of non-retirees with self-directed retirement savings accounts have little or no comfort managing their investments, and only 1/5 of adults answered 5 financial literacy questions correctly. So I think this is really, really key because, I mean, over 60% of people who are managing their own retirement accounts, people who have like IRAs, Roth IRAs, anything besides like a employer directed like 401k, they don't have confidence in their ability to invest that money. So I think this really speaks to our issue in the United States, at least. Not going to speak for the world, but with just not having any idea how to plan for retirement. And this really starts at a young age, because I mean, we could be educating high school students and college students on how to plan for retirement effectively, but we're really just not doing that at all. And if your parents have no idea how to plan for retirement, or if they're not giving you any financial education, then you're really on your own, and you really have to seek it out yourself. But so many people aren't willing to take that initiative to really go out of their way and figure out how an IRA works, or how stocks work, or anything like that. So it really just it leads to these problems, and the fact that only 20% of adults could answer 5 financial literacy questions correctly. I mean, that's really bad, guys. We're really not doing too good when it comes to financial literacy. But I mean, that's what my whole channel, that's the premise of this. That's my whole point here, is to help you guys build those skills so that you don't end up like all of these people. And 1/4 of non-retired people have no retirement savings. I think this is just absurd. And especially among young people, because what people don't realize is that your money when you're 18, there's this thing called the time value of money. I'm going to make a video about this pretty soon. But there's a thing called the time value of money, which basically states that money is worth different, its value is very dependent on the time that you give it to grow. So money has the ability to basically grow if you invest it, and if you're not investing it, then you're sort of losing out on some opportunity cost there. So how the math works is really when you're 18, it's either 18 or 20. When you're 18 years old, your money is actually worth 10 times more than it is when you are the age of 55. So spending $10,000 on a car when you're 18 years old is the equivalent of spending $100,000 on a car when you are 55 years old. So just think about that whenever you're making a purchase, whenever you're deciding whether to save or to spend as a young person. Remember that your money has 10 times, like the effect of your money is 10 times as much as if you were 55 years old. So just keep that in mind, because it's a lot easier to build for retirement when you're young than when you're old, because your money is going to be worth a lot less when you are old. So keep that in mind. Some other takeaways that I got from this is that people are retiring later and later, and people are not, I mean, the state of Social Security, as you know, not too consistent, so we really don't know what's going to happen there. So definitely don't be counting on Social Security to be your retirement nest egg. If you are not saving for retirement, that is going to be on you, and you cannot count on the government to come in and just write you Social Security checks every single month, because we do not know where that's going to be at in 5 years, much less 15 years, much less 50 years. So yeah, that's my 2 cents with this article. I think it's just really eye-opening. I'll link it down below, but I think it's really, it's a good read, and it just shows you sort of the state of where we are at right now when it comes to financial literacy and saving for retirement. Okay, last article is by USA Today, and the article title is why store-branded credit card delinquencies hit 7-year high. So this article caught my attention, and it was posted 2 days ago, I believe. Yep, 2 days ago on Wednesday. So it caught my attention because when I talk to people about what their first credit card was, a lot of times I find out that they got a store credit card first. I think it's a pretty common experience among people. My first card was not a store credit card, but a lot of people that I talked to, their first credit card was a store credit card. And I think this is, yeah, it's a pretty common thing. But store credit card delinquencies just hit a 7-year high, which means people are opening these cards, they're not knowing how to use a credit card, and then they're going into delinquency on their credit card, which is really, really bad, especially if that's your first credit card that's going to completely tank your credit score and just your credit in general. So like people going into delinquency on their very first credit card is very, very damaging. And this article was just really, really eye-opening for me because I was like, wow, like people are really not, they're opening these cards without having any idea of how to use them. And this is leading to some really bad habits and some really deep scars that are going to last on your credit score for a very, very long time. And people really need to keep this in mind when they're opening a credit card, is the huge, huge effect this can have over the entire course of your life. We're having some technical difficulties here, guys, so bear with us right now. We'll get there. Okay. Okay, here we go. So some key takeaways from this article was Equifax blames the trend of people going into delinquency on their store credit cards on customers who mistakenly believe they can avoid paying their credit card bills when retailers go out of business, declare bankruptcy, or close local stores. So with the whole retail sector falling apart because Amazon's taking over, we all know that. But places like Toys R Us going out of business, Macy's, Sears, and JCPenney have all shut down hundreds of stores. So people sort of assume that, and I mean, this goes along with their lack of financial education and lack of knowledge on the implications of credit cards, but they assume that if they have like a Toys R Us gift or credit card or a JCPenney credit card, and that either Toys R Us goes out of business or that JCPenney in their neighborhood shuts down, they're just not obligated to pay off this balance anymore. But that's really not the case at all. And it really has no effect whether or not this company is in business or whether or not your local JCPenney has shut down or not. So you really do have to keep that in mind when you open a store credit card, that it doesn't depend at all on your local place or whether or not this company goes out of business. Like, you still owe that money to the credit card company. Because I mean, the store itself isn't issuing these cards. They're just co-branded credit cards. So basically, the credit card company, so whoever, Visa, American Express, MasterCard, is going to partner with this retailer to put out a credit card, but all the credit card stuff is through MasterCard or Visa or whoever. So whether or not this retailer goes out of business has no effect on whether or not you still owe Visa, MasterCard, or whoever this money. So you definitely got to keep that in mind. Another reason this is because store cards are easier to get than the average credit card. So a lot of people get these credit cards because they're easy to get approved for, and then they just forget about them. They've never had a credit card before, they've never paid a bill before, so they don't know how to deal with it. And then it just goes into a bad situation from there. Also, private label credit card interest rates are higher than credit cards generally. So I mean, this is even more damaging because you get hit with these like 28% interest on your store branded credit card, and then just bad things happen from there. Interesting. Well, I think we might have lost the stream for a little bit. Not sure how much you guys heard. So we're just gonna wrap it up here because I think my internet is not doing too well.